What's going on, guys? Shonen Express here, coming to you with another video. Guys, I'm so excited to be able to do these videos once again and just have that ability. This is something I missed, so I'm so glad to be back at it. And this time, the video I have for you is a why you should read video. These are kind of videos that I've been thinking about doing, I've wanted to do for a while, to kind of highlight ongoing manga that I think that you guys should jump on and get into. Now, if you guys are on the Viz website and that's how you read, you read the official release, which I would definitely encourage you to do. Read the official release of all the manga that comes out every week like I do, then you may have seen some manga that aren't actually in the weekly magazine, but are still Shueisha properties, owned by the Shonen Jump company. Things like Boruto or more recently Kaiju number 8. Well, the manga I have that I want to highlight today is like that. The manga that we're going to get into today is Spy Family. You might pronounce it Spy X Family, but I'm going to go with Spy Family for the rest of this video because I think that's the best, the most correct, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm dead wrong, but Spy Family is a really great manga, and I wanted to use this video to highlight why you should get into that. So I will say that there will be very light spoilers, as in just the very beginning of this manga. I'm going to try to avoid any major spoilers down the road. Anything that you don't immediately know about a character, I won't say, because I want you guys to read this. So I'm just going to kind of do a brief overview of why you should read that. And I'm going to do it kind of in the same style that I used to do the manga reviews that I do. So we're going to go for the 4 major categories that I have: art, characters, mechanics, and plot. And we're going to break those down and see why you should read Spy Family. So first, let's start with the art. I think that the art is very good in this manga. Specifically, I like the design, the character designs that this manga has. I think that the character designs can be both cute and funny as well as serious when they need to be, and I think we have many examples of those things happening. Obviously, some characters are more serious more of the time, like Lloyd, but I think Yor is a great example of a character that can flop between being very serious and intense, as well as like adorable and cute and, the more funny, comical look that some manga have. I think that that's a real strength of this manga. And so it also has very uniform character design. So if you like more standard kind of character models and standard looks, this is a good looking manga. I think it's a very good manga. I think the art is great. The other thing I think this art does really well is action. I think that the action pieces in this manga are very detailed and easy to follow. Now, the paneling is pretty simple. It's a pretty basic manga panel layout. He doesn't do anything, or the mangaka doesn't do anything, really out of the box with that. However, I think the way that the action is drawn is very, very good. It flows nicely. I can tell exactly what's happening at all times, which is a really good strength, especially in a manga that doesn't have a lot of action. The action that is there, I want to be able to understand and perceive, and I want it to look cool, because that's the whole point of the action in this manga, is for me to be impressed, for it to look cool to me. So I would like, that to continue. And I think the art does a great job of conveying that. Now, as far as characters go, this is where this manga really, really shines. The characters in this manga, I think, are golden. They are really great examples of what characters ought to be. I will mention the main 3 that we meet very, very early on in the manga as examples. So Lloyd Forger is the main character. He's the dad of this spy family, if you will. And he is a international spy. He's a spy. He's one of the world's greatest spies who was tasked with infiltrating the country that they're in to get information out of this high political leader. And so he has to create a family to do that. Lloyd is a very serious guy. He's a very straight-laced guy. But he's also funny, and as the manga goes on, you see the more caring nature that Lloyd has, and he has the ability to display, which you wouldn't immediately think he was capable of doing. So I like that kind of development in Lloyd. Yor, who is the mother in this family, Yor is, on the one hand, a normal office worker, but is actually an assassin for the government that they're living in, which creates this interesting dynamic of Lloyd and Yor are actually working on opposite sides. It's almost like a Mr. and Mrs. Black kind of scenario. But they don't know that about each other. But Yor is this very cute and pleasable kind of lady, but with this side of being this one of the world's greatest assassins, because she just trained so much because she had to take care of her brother when they were younger. Yor brings this kind of interesting, very much more caring persona to the family. And then, of course, there is Anya. Anya is the little girl that plays the daughter. Anya is a gem. One of the best characters, if not the best character in this manga, is Anya Forger. She is so awesome. First of all, she can be adorable at times, but Anya's big thing is she has the ability to read minds. So what's hilarious about this is she's so young that she doesn't quite know how to process things in a way that maybe an adult would if they had that ability. But she's reading the mind of both Lloyd and Yor and getting all of these perspectives from them and being terrified at everything that she hears about these spy and assassin matters. And she so genuinely wants to help this family. This family is not necessarily real for any of the members involved except for Anya. I think Anya really does view this as her family, as where she belongs. And part of that is she wants to help both of her parents. The current arc, she wants to go help, or she wants to be with Yor on this cruise ship that Yor is working on. And so Anya just so genuinely wants to help her family that she really struggles with things like, at school she's supposed to befriend the son of the guy Lloyd is spying on, right, so that he can get in with him. But she hates this guy. She doesn't like this kid at all. And so it's such a hard time, but she still goes through with it. Anya is a gem. Great characterization. But what really brings this cast together, and all of the other characters that we meet along the way, is the interactions that are going on with them, how they mesh with each other, how, Lloyd saying something can be interpreted differently because Anya's only a child, or vice versa. The way that these characters interact with one another, with all of their different abilities and powers, is just, it's magical. I can't explain it any other way without getting too in-depth, but it's just a really, really great cast of characters. And if you take anything away from this video, take away that Spy Family has a great cast of characters, and that alone is worth all of the time that you'll spend reading it. But, of course, even after that, we're not quite done. Along with this amazing cast of characters, we got to go over the mechanics, or the setting that the world is in. So the setting is really cool. Where they are, this kind of warring country, it almost reminds me of a, post-World War II Germany, or Berlin, rather, specifically, where, you have the two sides of the Berlin Wall, having almost this Cold War stalemate. And this is definitely a reference to the Cold War, for sure. And I think that creates an interesting environment. I haven't read a lot of manga that involve, are this involved with Cold War type, things, right? And so, kind of that setting. So this is a pretty unique setting for that. I also think that the powers are great. I'm waiting for Anya's mind reading to have more of an explanation, because it doesn't seem like anyone actually has superpowers in this world, except for Anya and their dog, who can somehow see the future. Which is another hilarious thing, and a hilarious thing to mix in with this whole team. But I'm waiting for some kind of explanation for that. But for the most part, there aren't supernatural powers. These are real people doing things that might be a little exaggerated, but overall are real, things that you could do. So as far as powers, it's pretty basic, but the way that they use the individual abilities in kind of funny hijinks ways, as well as serious ways, is perfect. Which leaves us with the plot, and the plot in this manga is really good. It's what helps carry this story from being, a great manga to a nearly perfect manga to me. So the characters really are the driving force in this story, but the plot definitely helps push us along, right? Lloyd has got to create this fake family, this spy family, to blend in with his surroundings, right? Yor needs the family so that the government doesn't think that she is doing anything, she's not a spy. And Anya was an orphan who needs to have a family in the first place. And so what I think the plot is the creation of a real family from this fake family setup. And I think by the end of this manga, when all is said and done, I don't think this family is going to split apart. I think that this will be a real family, that Lloyd and Yor will actually be a married couple, and they will adopt Anya, like, for real. I think it'll be a for real family that these three form, and I think that that's really great. And we see several glimpses throughout this manga of how each of the family members cares deeply about the other two family members. It's not just Anya. Obviously, it is Anya. Anya is, as a child and an orphan, she's the most caring, I would say. But Yor really cares what Anya thinks of her as a mother, and what Lloyd thinks of her as a mother. And Lloyd, despite his kind of cold and aloof nature, definitely cares about the other two as well, and we can see that in several instances as well. But I think what is ultimately driving the plot is not the spy mission. The spy mission is kind of a side thing, or any of the assassinations that Yor goes on. These are kind of side things, but what ultimately drives the plot forward is this bonding of a real family that we're seeing. And it really is a very impactful look at this family. But beyond that, I think that there is a perfect level of hijinks to seriousness in this manga. It gets serious when it needs to, but for the most time, it is just a hilarious manga. The hijinks that they get into are so funny, and this, almost will they, won't they, of are they going to find out about what, is Lloyd going to find out that Yor's an assassin? Is Yor going to find out what Lloyd is? This whole back and forth nature is just so compelling, and it's so interesting to watch every single time this manga comes out, which it comes out about bi-weekly, but every single time that it's released, I'm always consistently impressed with this manga. I think that it is a great plot, and one that I look forward to reading every single time that it comes out. So, in case you somehow made it all the way in this video without realizing that I want you to read Spy Family, let me tell you, I want you to read Spy Family. I think it's something that everybody can enjoy. There's something in this manga for everybody, I think. And so it's definitely one that I would encourage you to get into if you like manga. Like I do. And if you don't like manga, I'm confused how you ended up on my channel. Welcome, but this might not be the one for you. But yeah, definitely read Spy Family. Spy Family is not in the main magazine. I think it's actually only online. It comes out every other week, which is pretty frequent, and we're currently on chapter 52. I think that this week is one of the weeks that a new Spy Family chapter will drop, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, it's only 52 chapters long and very much worth your time. Go check out Spy Family. And hey, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you have anything to say, leave it in the comment section. I'd love to be able to interact with your comments and see what you guys have to say. And definitely subscribe to my channel for more manga-related content, Shonen Jump-related content even. As well as check out the Shonen Jump podcast, or Shonen Express podcast, rather, that I've posted both here on YouTube and on Spotify. You can go on either one of those and check that out. I really appreciate that. That's where I go over all of weekly Shonen Jump. But, like I said, like this video, subscribe to my channel. Until next time, guys, this is Shonen Express, signing off.